Hitting the front lines of the culture wars. The Michelangelo Signorelli Show on Sirius OutQ 106.
Welcome back. It's 20 minutes after the hour. I'm Michelangelo Signorelli. So, folks, I realize this one is a really tough one for a lot of people who are gay-friendly, but sort of, they're on the left, but sort of like the transgender thing. It's confusing for them. It's maybe scary. They don't know what to do. And even for a lot of gay people. And this idea of bathrooms, whether or not transgender people go, a male to female transsexual goes in the women's bathroom or not. I was speaking last hour with Helena Stone, a woman, transgender woman, arrested in Grand Central Station. She's a Verizon repair person for going in the ladies' bathroom. Actually, a couple of times she was arrested not even in the bathroom. And a man called and he said, I'm with you on all the other issues, but I just can't go there with this. I don't want anybody with a penis going into the women's room with my wife and my daughter. Now, what he needs to know is that it's much more complicated than he even thinks. There are male to female transsexuals who still have a penis. And then there are ones who do not have a penis anymore. Now, is it okay if they don't have a penis anymore? Then he's okay with that? Is it really about the penis? There are many who have a penis but are taking hormones that make their penis basically inoperable, okay? So are they okay? I mean, it gets ridiculous, right? And I don't think he may know that a lot of the people he might see going in the women's room he thinks don't have a penis do have a penis, okay? And there are a lot of people who don't have a penis who go in that room that he might think do have a penis because there's a lot of butch lesbians, right? And then what about the female to male transsexuals who yet have not gotten their penis yet, right? But are still feeling they need to go in the women's room. I mean, it's ridiculous. And folks, the real discrimination is against these people, not against the real hatred and the violence is against them, not against the people in the bathroom who, do women really care? Anyway, we've been taking your calls. We've been talking about it. Love to hear from more of you. 866-305-6887. Let's say hi to Juliet in Michigan. You're on the Michelangelo Signorelli Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
What do you think?
I find this fascinating. I think it'd be really humorous if we just put pictures of genitalia on the door and then you'd know. It'd be really clear.
Or maybe an X-ray machine at the door.
But on a more serious note, I have a son and a daughter, both of whom are young, 5-year-olds. And, my son has to go in the bathroom with us all the time because he has lesbian moms, and we're not sending him into the men's room by himself. Not yet, anyway.
Absolutely. And when all of us who are men, when we were boys, we went in the women's room with our mother because our mother had to help us go to the bathroom.
Exactly. And I think, with my kids, if I have any issue with the restroom or anyone who's in it, I mean, there are now family restrooms available which really meet this need. And I do think that, if you're uncomfortable, it's your problem. And who are we to limit bathroom use by people that we are uncomfortable with? I mean, that could be such
it really is an archaic sort of Victorian era throwback that we're still left with, this L and the G on the doors. It really is. I mean, what did feminism should have wiped that out. Because this is a feminist issue. This shouldn't be down to now transgender people having to take care of it. Feminism should have wiped out these two bathroom things, I think.
It's true. Well, and this gentleman, and I certainly know plenty of people who struggle with what he's struggling with. But, he should prepare himself because the chances of his young daughter going to a dormitory for college someday that has co-ed bathrooms nowadays is quite good.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also the chances of his daughter deciding that she wants a penis are much more, he better watch it because in the past, transgender people, there wasn't the option to do anything about it and they stayed in the closet. Now he might have a child who's transgendered. He better, be careful about that.
Right. But really, my main point is just that people who have young children, I mean, they know the options. And I bet his wife doesn't feel quite as strongly as he does because, she probably does take her kids into the family restroom, partially because it's just easier and it's cleaner. Well, people want to use our restroom because it's cleaner than yours. That's the bottom line.
You're a woman. If you saw a transgender person in the bathroom, does that really, you feel threatened by that?
No, I don't feel threatened by much. But that's certainly that certainly wouldn't threaten me. I'd probably say, I'd actually probably chat that person up more than any other woman in the thing.
Well, Juliet, I thank you for your call today. Good to hear from you.
I do ask that the transgender people out there who are using the women's bathrooms don't spend a lot of time primping like those straight women do.
Well, that could be the problem. We need to have a separate table for the transgender people because they might be spending too much time in the makeup thing. But, we'll see. Listen, thanks for giving us a call, Juliet. Let's say hi to Laura in California. You're on the Michelangelo Signorelli Show.
Yeah, hi.
What do you think?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm, 55-year-old female, and throughout my life I've probably seen 7 either drag queens or transsexuals in the ladies' room. I've never been threatened by any of them. There's been a couple, 2 or 3 of them I've had quite nice conversations with, and it doesn't bother me a bit. And I think it's a matter of ignorance of a lot of people of what it's about. They're not a threat to women.
Yeah, I mean, really, to have the courage to go into the women's bathroom if you are transsexual or a drag queen. To me, already, you're showing enormous courage. The last thing you're going to do is anything to violate that room. Now, if there was a man dressed as a woman who's simply in there trying to, some sort of pervert or whatever, that's a different story. But that's something that takes on all different shapes and forms. And, of course, you report that person. But that's not what this is about.
No, and I'll tell you, there's been at least 2 cases in the past, 20 years in campgrounds where there have been men who have put plastic bags over their head and crawled down into the outhouses in the women's outhouses.
Oh, my God.
My aunt was in a campground.
Are you kidding? In the toilet, in the hole?
In the outhouse, in the campground. And it just happened that some woman happened to turn around and look down and saw him, and they.
Oh my God!
So I mean, that man better tell his wife to watch out for the outhouse.
That's a good one there, Laura. Thanks for calling us today. 866-305-6887, toll free across North America, U.S. and Canada. Rick in Dallas, you're on the Michelangelo Signorelli Show. Hi, Rick.
Hey, how are you?
What's up?
Enjoy your show.
Thank you.
I was just calling in because I used to think I was straight. I am a gay man. I got married. We went to Europe one time, my wife and I, and we went into a bathroom, and it was both sexes. It was unisex. My first experience with having that experience, it was unique, but it wasn't frightening. It was people were there to do what they were doing.
Were there urinals in there so the women? Because to me, if you think about it, if we shared the bathroom, it's the men who are the ones who would be more exposed because they use the urinal. If everybody's using a stall, what does it matter if there's a man or a woman behind it?
The other point, in the ladies' room, there are stalls. There's privacy. So there's really no issue. We are so adolescent as a nation when it comes to sex. We just behave like giggly little 12-year-olds.
Well, it is amazing because we cave into this idea that men are out of control sexually and can't control themselves, and therefore we need to have separate bathrooms rather than educate and insist that men control their sexual impulses. I mean, come on. We're not going to stop sexual abuse and rape by just having separate bathrooms.
Wait.
Yeah.
And there's a great degree of discrimination. And I agree with you 100% that while I personally don't understand everything that she's going through, I still believe she's the one who's being discriminated against, not some woman who was in a stall 2 down from her.
Yeah, some middle-class woman from Connecticut who comes in on the train and needs to make sure there's no transgender woman in the bathroom. Yeah. Rick, thanks so much for your story. Good to hear from you.